RingCentral's AI receptionist uses voice AI to answer on the first ring, so you'll never miss a call again. In just a few minutes, you can personalize your own AI receptionist to answer questions, route calls, schedule appointments, and even send texts in multiple languages. Plus, it's easy to scale. Create unlimited AI receptionists across any phone system. It's all powered by one reliable platform for effortless AI communications. See for yourself at ringcentral.com. RingCentral, voice of your business.
Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you about O's development. Is Jaren Jackson Jr. and Bam Adebayo two guys you want him to kind of emulate as he continues to grow and develop as a player for you?
Yeah, I think so many good things about his development. First of all, he leads the league in minutes at the center position. So, we've been thin there and have asked a lot of him, and he's responded. I think one of the most obvious things is, the three-point shooting, just his comfort level, and not just making them, but the volume. I think is really important and helps our team in a lot of different ways. We play through him a lot, particularly when, we haven't, had a pure point guard out there this year. So a lot of people can be playmakers, and he's able to do that too. And to your point about Bam, I think he probably liked that comparison because, but he's pushing. I think he's going to continue to get better. As a 24-year-old, this is his first year starting in the league, maybe 25 now. But as I said, we ask a lot of him, and he's generally undersized relative to some of the matchups that he has on the court, and he doesn't back down from anything. And I think as he continues to grow as a player, playing out on the floor defensively is something that I think he's working on.
And Coach, one more question about playmaking, Nikhil. We had him in Utah. Did you see this arc for him to be able to this playmaker to make shots at all three levels of the court and make the right reads, get downhill, and make all these good threes he's doing for us as well?
I think there were, that was such an early point in his career, but you could tell that the person, how hard he worked, how disciplined he was, what a competitor he was. And in Minnesota, I think he really established himself as a defender, and a knockdown three-point shooter, but particularly from the corners. We've tried to really encourage him to be aggressive shooting, even some contested shots from three. I think, his confidence propels him like that. So, as far as the playmaking goes, he can get in the lane. He's not your typical playmaker, but as you said, I think he's unselfish and willing to get off the ball when he's guarded.
And Coach, just generally, you're getting a team with a little bit of jet lag. They went over to Europe. What do you think just about every team getting that experience to just culturally grow the game, the NBA game, but also some of these young players that really the only travel they've ever done is, AAU ball?
Yeah, I think it's terrific. It's the league is global, and players from all over the world. So playing in Europe, wherever in Europe, whether it be London, Paris, Berlin, there are games everywhere right now. And I think you hear a lot about European players watching the NBA when, before they come over here. And I think more and more, American players and kids, are aware of basketball internationally. You usually see a spike in that during, the World Cup or the Olympics. But, the more the game, expands internationally, I think the better it is for everyone and for the NBA. So teams and players going over there, as you mentioned, whatever, there's lots of benefits, whether they're cultural benefits or just, raised awareness about other parts of this world we live in.
Gotcha. And then kind of blending the cultures, the killed Canadian, CJ Dyson from Australia, and they've also had time with the Pelicans at some point too. Just wanting to turn around this, get some wins under you. Just what does it mean that those three guys have a bit of camaraderie? CJ joining mid-season, it's something they can pick up on.
Yeah, well, we're in anytime you have a trade, we've played without a point guard this season, and we've played without a pure center this season. And so the influx of a guy like CJ that gives us another ball handler and a pick and roll player is really can be valuable to everyone. We're going through, the process of integrating those guys, and we're going to keep grinding on that. I'm really more focused on how we're playing and how we're growing and how we're coming together. And you want to win every game, but to the extent that you anticipate, some rough sailing anytime your team changes. And we played well last game, and hopefully we'll play well again tonight and play in a way that I think that we can replicate and be successful.
Hey, Coach, from now to the All-Star break is considered the hard part of the NBA season. What do you say to your team to make sure they're focused every night, to bring the energy and effort every night and not take a day off?
Yeah, it's kind of the dog days, right? We've got 4 guys that are, I think in the top 25 in minutes at their positions, and no other team has more than 2. So whether it's physical, or I think to your point, it might even be more mental than anything, especially with younger players. There's more of a possibility that you hit that wall when you haven't been through it before. But I don't know that there's a magic pill with it. It's just a question of continuing to prepare and to grind and be passionate about your craft.
Just to circle back on the absence of a traditional point guard for the most of the season,
Mm-hmm.
just what sort of advantages and looks does Jalen Johnson's playmaking lead create, especially within the lenses that a lot of these teams that go deeper into the playoffs have that high-level playmaker from the front court?
I think it's a really good point. Necessity can be the mother of invention, and Dyson's really evolved into that role, which has been great to see him progress, making plays for other people and handling the ball and guarding that position. So he's really filled that role for us and grown as a player. Jalen, again, he's unique in his ability to pass and handle the ball, particularly in the open court. He's not in a position where we're asking him to kind of quote run the team, but there's a lot of things we do where he starts with the ball, and we put him in pick and roll as much as we have any other player. So that's a big key for us. That versatility with a number of players and having multiple playmakers, we feel like is something that's really important for us and try to take advantage of. And Jalen's at the front of that list. Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
RingCentral's AI receptionist uses voice AI to answer on the first ring, so you'll never miss a call again. In just a few minutes, you can personalize your own AI receptionist to answer questions, route calls, schedule appointments, and even send texts in multiple languages. Plus, it's easy to scale. Create unlimited AI receptionists across any phone system. It's all powered by one reliable platform for effortless AI communications. See for yourself at ringcentral.com. RingCentral, voice of your business.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.